All right, here we are for the third round, and we're not going to mulligan this one. It actually looks pretty sweet. All right, that's a good one too. So we're going to lead off with the plains here, and this looks like a pretty nice opener, really. We can have a martial law on turn 4. Well, I guess that's not that great, but it's still sweet. All right, looks like we're going to be playing against a potentially aggressive deck here. All right, we've got Azorius Charm open if we want it. One of the things that I think I need to do a better job of with Azorius Charm is just cycling it sometimes. I think that there's been times when I've waited too long and trying to find the right spot for an Azorius Charm, and it just never quite came. And it was just better off if I just would have just ditched it earlier. It doesn't do that much. All right, turn 3 Viashino Racketeer for us is very nice. That's all he's doing. We're under not that much pressure at all. And I like our chances in the long game here. I'm going to just run out Chromatic Lantern. Let's see what we draw. If we draw a 3-drop, we can go like Guild Mage, 3-drop, something like that next turn. Otherwise, we'll just play Martial Law. Getting it online is a good thing for sure. Especially if he plays like a Bloodfray Giant here or something like that. Jailbreaker we're not as concerned about. So we can go Canyon Apparition, Vidugazi, Guild Mage. I kind of like that a little bit better because in the next turn we can start making Centaurs right away. And this isn't going to be attacking most likely, so we're like actually in a pretty good spot here. Oh man, I forgot about that. Pretty annoying. Canyon Apparition. And a Guild Mage. Yeah, because now we put a lot of heat on him to kill this Guild Mage as soon as possible. All right, so he doesn't have attacks with the Jailbreaker. He'll price it in the Racketeer, and I'm content to just take it here. I think the Keening Apparition's a card that I want to have around for later. I don't mind going down to 16, especially when next turn, assuming that this is still alive, I get to make... All right, he's got the launch party. All right, so we did put enough pressure on him there, it looks like, to take that thing out, and he was able to do so. And now I think I like just... playing a Martial Law here. I think that's going to set us up pretty nicely here for being able to I don't think he's going to be able to attack anytime soon. And we can start locking down his Jailbreaker and beating him down with the Keening Apparition and then eventually Eyes in the Skies tokens as well. All right, Golgari Longlegs instead. So now we're just more in the staying alive camp here. I think I'm going to keep the Azorius Charm still, though. We're going to lock down the legs. And we've got enough mana to do Frostburn Weird and Eyes in the Skies. So that seems like a fine play to me. No attacks. And if he finds a gate... That'll get kind of annoying. Having 2 huge guys out can be pretty annoying for us. He's down to 2 cards. He's got tons of mana. Ooh, Mercurial Chemister. Yikes. That card is just going to absolutely tear us apart. So what I think I'm going to do here is... Yeah, Imp doesn't matter. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here is cycle Azorius Charm. Yeah, I can play the Eyes in the Skies, but I kind of want him to attack into it with his Imp, and then we can block. And what I'm looking for is an arrest, because if we arrest here, then he never gets to use it. If we start Martial Lawing it, he can just respond by using it, and that's not good enough. So let's cycle here. and try to hit an arrest. We've got 2 draw steps to do it and 2 arrests in the deck. Yeah, also keep this guy on lockdown. Actually, I should have done here. There's the arrest. Now I look like a genius. So let's get this guy locked up and play this. Ship it back. So what we're hoping he does is attack into our Eyes in the Skies with his Dagger Drone Imp, and then we would flash one in and block and trade off half of our card for his full card. Looks like he's going to do that. Chromatic Lantern is real fun when you've got basic lands even, and it gives you like 6 choices. Trade off 1 token for 1 imp. And he's got a Dead Reveler. Let's see if he unleashes it. He does. Still going to keep locking down this Golgari Longlegs for now. And do we want to attack here? I think so. Yeah, I think we can just start beating down with this thing. We can trade off our Frostburn Weird for his Dead Revelers if we want to. We didn't draw anything good, but so it goes. Playing my land because I don't want to get mind rotted, and at this point people don't play around anything anyway, it feels like. If he has Assassin Strike or something, I don't want to have to just throw away my land for no reason. We don't have our Dispel or our Cancel in the deck, so it's not likely we're going to draw something that we want to just hold in our hand forever. I guess that's possible. Certainly don't need this land. All right, well, I'm just going to block. Yeah, that didn't really do much. All right, keep this Golgari Longlegs on lockdown. Draw another land and beat him down. This could be a very long game. Keenan Apparition is actually kind of interesting on the board because if he were to Traitorous Instinct it, we would be forced to blow up our Martial Law or our own arrest. So we'd probably have to kill our Martial Law. If we let him get Mercurial Chemistry going, like there's no way we can win this game, especially because we just kind of bricked out here. We don't have anything in our hand. We have no pressure on him really. And the game's at parity, and if we let him have access to a card like Chemister for a couple of turns, we'd just like basically instantly die. Instantly is maybe a stretch, but we would die. A Deathrite Shaman. All right, that's a good one. Doesn't have access to green, but he can do a bunch of damage to us. He can do 2, 4, 6 damage just as the board sits right now over the course of the next 3 turns. He decided not to attack that time. And we've drawn another Frostburn Weird, which is actually quite a nice draw. In fact, I probably should have just attacked there. He would just trade it off for the Jailbreaker, but at this point, I think we kind of want to do that. So we can actually start beating down. Yeah, I think I might just offer the trades next turn. Wouldn't mind something that can get in the way of this, though. And we have that now, but if I start to go aggressive and start attacking with both of these creatures, then I don't think... Oops. All right, we're just going to block here again. Could have something like Electrickery. It's also, I mean, he must not care if he trades that card off right now. These are certainly better on the offensive at this point. All right, he does have the Assassin Strike. It's going to take out one, and we do lose our planes. Doesn't seem entirely relevant. Still this guy. And we're back to square one here. Ooh, that changes things significantly. Think if he had Electrickery, he already would have used it, so I feel safe in casting this, and I think I'm just going to slam it right on the bird here. If I put it on the Keening Apparition, then it gets traded off. If I put it on the Frostburn Weird, then it makes it a 6 power, so then he can double block at some point. So yeah, I'm just going to throw it on the bird here. That's going to get in the most damage. It's also going to put up a nice little blocker. And do I attack with this guy? If I do, then he blocks and we trade, and do I care? I can double block the Dead Reveler, kill it, and then leave myself with like a knight left over. It's interesting. Do I want to do that? I probably do. Yeah, I'm actually going to attack with this too. It is time to trade. Ogre Jailbreaker is going to just be a big pain for us. And, you know, I was thinking about it, and if he ever does hit a gate, thing's going to beat us down pretty good too. So this trade actually benefits us in that way as well. It looks like he decided not to do anything though. So we're going to hit him for the full amount here. Again, he can't have Electrickery. He would have used it when we cast this, so it's pretty safe. He hasn't been using his Deathrite Shaman. Not sure why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't see. Oh, he left red up last turn. He must have done that on accident. Suppose trading benefits us as well in the sense that martial law is the fewer threats he has on the table, the better for martial law. All right, so are we trading off here is a question, or just taking the 3? If we trade off, he kills probably Keening Apparition. We don't really care that much about that. Yeah, I think I feel like trading here, because we don't have good attacks anyway. As long as he refuses to trade Frostburn Weird for Jailbreaker, then these guys can't get through, and they're just going to be sitting there. And I don't want to take like 3, 3, 3, because it's really 5, 5, 5. Which one is he going to kill? Keening Apparition. Oh, he's going to kill the Knight. That's actually a good play by him, because I do have things like a Tristani's Judgment or whatever. But okay, and locking down this guy still. And we drew up planes. Yeah, same attacks. We're in a pretty fragile position here, but could be worse. Love to see like an inspiration or something off the top of my deck. All right, he is now going to offer the trade with the Jailbreaker here, and I am going to grant him that wish. See if he has anything. He doesn't have anything. All right, so this is a pretty reasonable position for us at this point. Us having the martial law means that we can help keep stuff locked down. All right, he's going to ping us with our eyes in the skies. Question is more on what is he going to draw? We're in a winning position currently, but we're not in like a steady position. Like, Oh man, he drew Thought Flare. That's going to be huge for him. He gets to draw 4 and discard 2. Let's take a look at what he discards. This is going to be important. He's discarding a Steam Vents, so that's good news for us. It's when they start discarding like really good cards that you should start getting scared. All right, so he threw away a Swamp and a Steam Vents. So that's actually good news for us in the sense that like it's really bad when they Thought Flare and discard something really good because you know that they have something better. He's going to make a Rakdos Cackler. He's deciding if he wants to unleash it. He does. Doesn't have any attacks though. All right, so let's draw some action here. Man, we got a ton of lands. You know, him having resolved a Thought Flare and us not being able to contribute anything to the board makes me pretty nervous. Like, we're certainly in a good position, but man, we're just right teetering on the edge here. He's sifting through his deck. You got to figure he's going to be able to find a way to deal with a stupid bird token at some point. And if that happens, we're in a really bad spot. Yeah, there's the ultimate price. So now he gets to just battle in there with both of his guys. It's interesting that he's going to do it. Yeah, I think he's got to leave that Tavern Swindler back. Yeah, and he's going to get in there. And we need to draw something here. Too many lands. No lands. Stealer of Secrets, not exactly what I had in mind, but it will do something at least. Presents a reasonable attacker here. Actually, maybe I should have just attacked there and made him trade off his Tavern Swindler. Yeah, that might have been the right play. We drop to 8 here. If I attack there, because next turn he's going to try to trade off the Stealer of Secrets instead, which is much better for him. So I might have just missed a couple of damage, although I do take 4 on the crackback if I do it that way. Yeah, still not going to send the Swindler. All right. So we now have to start blocking after this. Splatter Thug, if he unleashes it, yeah, he didn't unleash it. All right, so we're just in a really bad spot now. Don't see how we're going to get out of this one. Void Wielder helps, though. Void Wielder definitely helps out a lot, but we're at a virtual 2 here. So we just can't take any damage at all. I can Void Wield, bounce this thing. I can Void Wield and bounce this thing too, but then I don't get any attacks. I want to be able to swing in with this. So if I Void Wield, bounce this, and attack with both, then he can just go to 1, and then he puts us to dead. He'll kill us. But if he gets panicky and he doesn't want to let us get in there, also we do get to draw a card with that line. Let's see what he does. Get that thing out of the way. I don't think he wants to let us draw a card off of this Stealer. If he does, he's risking me having a combat trick like Swift Justice and losing. He's also letting us draw a card, so if we draw anything that can block, it's a tough position for him, because if he doesn't block, we're dead. If he doesn't block, we draw and we get nothing, then we're dead. But he can't know that, so maybe he'll swindle. Flip the coin, man. Do it. All right, so he is going to do it this way. That makes sense. And this way does keep us alive as well. But barely. And not really. So we go to 4. We do have some draws here that could potentially win us or at least get us there. Yes, it is, sir. Using it right now, in fact. All right, so he's going to replay the guy. Oh. All right, so he does have Traitorous Instinct in the deck, and that is actually just going to finish us off here, unfortunately. All right, so let's go to the next round. I feel like we did the right things there, but just kind of missed. We just drew a few too many lands down the stretch and weren't able to kind of finally get through. I'm going to bring in Hover Barrier and cancel, I think. Yeah, these make sense to me. Hover Barrier is good against both of the fatties that we saw him have. So that's really nice. I like Vitu-Ghazi Guildmage still. Well, let's see what we can take out. Well, Selesnya Sentry is actually okay versus him. Yeah, all these are pretty fine versus him. So maybe I won't run the cancel right away, and I'll cut like a Rune Wing. Seems fine. It slows down our deck a little bit. In fact, maybe I'll leave a Rune Wing in and cut one of these Selesnya Sentries. Yeah, that seems okay. All right, we are going to be on the play. Yeah, this looks okay. Certainly unexciting, but it's fine. I like having this. I'm going to play out this in case we draw a forest. All right, good start. Keening Apparition into Seller of Secrets into Inspiration is pretty good. Stealer of Secrets, excuse me. This deck is slow. It's weird. So beats, and we could just play the Frostburn Weird, but I like getting the Stealer out because, again, I want to make sure, like, if he's got like an Unleash guy here, we put him in a really bad position. See what he wants to do here. Yeah, he's just going to play an Unleashed Splatter Thug, which is really good here, actually. If we draw removal, we did not. All right, so let's Inspiration. Yeah, this was actually a tough choice because we can also just play Frostburn Weird. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play the Frostburn Weird here because I can actually start attacking him. I like using up my mana a little bit better normally, but I also like getting some pressure going. This makes our next draw step really good. Like if we hit an arrest or something like that, we can really just get him. Okay, he's got a Jailbreaker, so now he's basically got the board completely locked up, and we're just going to sit back and go into Inspiration, into awesome stuff mode here. I don't think there's anything for one that we really care about, so we're just going to ship back. Maybe I should have attacked with Frostburn Weird. I'd trade it off. He doesn't really have any blocks. Yeah, I should have done that, because I could have probably got in for 2 damage. Yeah, that was a mistake. I mean, it does keep the Splatter Thug back, which is fine, but so what? Rather beat him down here. Especially if we can get this thing out of the way, it makes like Martial Law and Arrest a lot better. Although it means I don't get to Inspiration this turn, which is kind of annoying, but if he doesn't block it, then we do. All right, so he's going to play this on the Frostburn Weird. That's fine. It's not really super relevant. We can kill that Frostburn Weird whenever we want. So let's draw some green sources. Yeah, at least we're digging through our lands here, or digging through our deck. And we hit a Rune Wing. Yep, Rune Wing is fine. Rune Wing can at least attack. We're just going to kill our Frostburn Weird here. I don't think the damage that we take from that is going to be worse. We could also just Keening Apparition the Stab Wound away. Which one's better, Keening Apparition or Frostburn Weird? No, Frostburn Weird's probably just way better. Maybe I should have just instantly done that. I don't know. Is there something better that Keening Apparition can hit from him than a Stab Wound? Probably not. Probably just going to use it. Oh, he's going to attack. It seems like a strange attack to me. Why would he do that? Yeah, I have no idea why he's doing this, but we'll find out. All right, first strike damage. Regular strike damage. Splatter Thug down. What do you got? Electrickery or something to finish it off? That doesn't make a lot of sense. You wouldn't do that. And plus, you could have already done it. Sure, Dead Revelers. He's probably not even going to kick it either. Yeah, he's not. I think he just didn't see it. Oh, man. Tristani's Judgment. I want to get the Stealer Secrets in there real bad. All right, so let's fight with these two. Because now this actually will set up a potential situation where I can get one of these guys out of the way. Like if he wants to trade these off or these off. Sets me up for a sweet Tristani's Judgment next turn on his Jailbreaker and then battle with Stealer. If I can start getting in there with Stealer, things start looking really good to me. If he doesn't, yeah, he is going to do that. So now he needs to have, but we already know he doesn't have Electrickery because he would have done this last turn. So let's just trade. And then play Hover Barrier and say go. All right, so he needs to commit something to the board here that's relevant. If he doesn't, we Tristani's Judgment away something and get in there with a Stealer. At least our keep the beatdowns going with the Rune Wing. I'd love to hit green Mana Source. Lobbing the Crew, okay. Well, that changes things. So if we Tristani's Judgment now, it doesn't really do anything. We can just get rid of this thing, but it just doesn't do enough. Yeah, sad. Go. Yeah, Lobber Crew is a pretty good one there. This does make things like, what's it called? Knightly Valor really awesome, though, if we were to draw one of those, suit him up, and get in there. But now we're just going to save our Tristani's Judgment for something with a little bit more consequence, like this guy. Let's see if he unleashes him, though. That's the question. Lobber Crew's going to get annoying after a while, but I don't think he can really race us with it. He did unleash it. I'm not sure why. That's disappointing. Playing a land because if we draw Chromatic Lantern, I want to be able to play it and Tristani in the same turn. I mean, yeah, we'll take some risk on, but he's 2 mana away from Assassin Strike anyway, so I think we're fine. Plus, it's not like these are castable at the moment. Yeah, I'm not sure why he did this. It does represent 4 extra damage, so it's not useless or anything like that, but it's not like it's getting through this thing anyway. Is he attacking us? Oh, he is. Oh. All right. I see how it is. What's he up to here? Does he have a burn spell for our barrier? Stupid Racketeer. He didn't discard anything, so he likes everything in his hand. We know he's got all spells. I can take out the Hellhole Flailer, but right now it's just not really doing much. Yeah, I'm just going to wait. Yeah. That is sweet. Keep fighting here. Now the question is... Oh, never mind. There is no question. Yay for Chromatic Lantern. Just run everything out there. Yeah, that was like the best possible draw. Now, if he Assassin Strikes us, I'm going to be super bummed out now, but because game plan going a little longer here is to get a Tristani's Judgment after we get a couple of tokens going. If we hit any land, though, we can do both, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, and then a land means that we can populate. We can make a dude and populate, which that usually means it's the game. So right now there's a lot of pressure on him to get rid of this Vitu-Ghazi Guild Mage or race it or something. If he attacks with the Flailer and the Dead Reveler, he just doesn't have any attacks here at all. If he Assassin Strikes, if he goes land, Assassin Strike on the Guild Mage, that's probably the best case scenario for him. We lose a Tristani's Judgment, which is like a key removal card. He gets our biggest threat off the table. Like, that would be a really big game for him if he goes land into that. Also been keeping a close eye on the clock here. We're way ahead on it. It's not quite to the point where we can just start playing the clock game against him. We are down a game as well. So we don't want to throw away this game. So let's see if he has an answer for the Guild Mage. He's got Traitorous Instinct. This smells like a little bit of desperation to me. All right, so this blocks here. And then we're going to take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then he can just kill us. Yeah, so I think we just need to stay alive, so I'm going to go ahead and block here. I'm not happy about it. But we get to have a pretty ridiculous turn when we untap, and I'm really just concerned about keeping our life total up as high as humanly possible here. All right, so now we're looking good. So let's just ship the turn back here, I think, because I want to start making dudes. And I want to leave Tristani's Judgment up as well. All right, his clock is definitely starting to become a major issue for him here. Let's see what he's got. Rakdos Rage Mutt. Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Question is, does he have any attacks? Can he actually do anything with it? I don't think he can. Let's see what he thinks. No, he says hell with it. We're sending in the team. All right, so this should be easy then. We go green. Put a 3/3 token into play. And we start blocking. So this is going to block here. This is going to block here. This blocks this guy. And yes, I will even trade off my Rune Wing with you here. I want to hit another land so we can do Tristani's Judgment plus Populate or whatever. I want to make sure that our Centaur is still alive. Centaur being alive is a big deal because when we cast Tristani's Judgment... Ooh, that's a good one too. Yeah, land here would be the game. All right, there it is. So we're sitting at 12 right now. The hover barrier is really, really good versus him. Let's just Tristani's Judgment the Lobber Crew here. That's going to get us another Centaur, and it means that we take the minimum amount of damage from the thing. And we can bring the beatdowns here as well. Interestingly, I don't actually want to kill him because he's approaching 3 minutes on his clock now. And I think that we'll win the match if we clock him, where we're only going to win this game if we just beat him. So I might just make him do something. We're sitting at 11 here. So I don't feel like we're in like imminent danger. The hover barrier is a big deal in this situation as well. He's going to play a Rakdos Cackler, presumably leashed. And I think I am just going to ship the turn back to him here. I'm going to make a Centaur, but I think I'm just going to just ship it back to him. It's perhaps slightly risky, but like honestly, this has really become a clock game. And I don't think that he can win this game. And I'm willing to bet the match on it, basically, that he can't get me from 11 to 0 with this board and 2 cards in hand in 2 minutes. So I'm just going to ship it back to him. If at any time I feel like he might do that, then I can just make 2 more tokens and just kill him. But it's interesting because this is a skill, right? Like he needs to look at the clock and realize that he's only got 2.5 minutes to win the last game here. And that if he wants to have a chance to win the match, he needs to concede right now. But he doesn't want to do that. And it might cost him the match as a result. I mean, I'm taking some level of risk here. I have basically a for sure thing here with as far as the win goes. I'm going to win this game if I want to. But I'm trying to think a little bit bigger picture here, because right now we're looking at the match, and that's obviously more important than the game. So now we've just got the big engine going here, and we've also drawn an arrest. All right, so we're just going to pass the turn back again. I mean, again, there are combinations of cards that we lose to here. Like if he goes Explosive Impact, Deathrite Shaman you, then we could lose. And that's a risk that I'm taking here. But every second that goes off this clock is damning him in the next match. All right, so he finally did decide to concede, but it took him another at least minute and a half before he finally decided to do that. And now all of a sudden, he's got to get off to a really quick start. He's got to make sure that he gets us just right away. And we might even want to bring in some things that help prevent that. I think Rootborn Defenses looks like it's going to be really good versus him. We've had a lot of situations already where we've been trading off guys, and that seems pretty important. Runewing less so. We're going to be in defensive mode here. This is only 13 creatures, though. Yeah, it seems all right. So let's give this a shot. We also have Eyes in the Skies and stuff. And what he's going to need to do is he's going to need to mulligan into a hand that's really, really aggressive and that can get out to a quick start and has a lot of reach that we're not going to be able to deal with. It's totally possible. I've lost and won games with this much time on the clock many times. But he's really going to be in the position. We're going to be in a pretty nice spot because we can dictate what we want to happen in the game, or we know what the most important thing is, which is just like basically the clock. I mean, it really is. Like some people don't think it's appropriate to play with the clock in mind, but it just is. Like you have to be able to finish your matches in the allotted time. And I mean, oh, look at us. Like I'm talking. Like I normally play way, way, way faster than when I'm talking. And even then we still have tons and tons of time left on the clock. So this is just to me one of those situations where, you know, he needed to recognize when to concede, and he probably did it a little bit late, and it might cost him here. Now it also might not, you know, it just might not. And, you know, I mentioned it. We took on some level of risk by not attacking him and just finishing him off with like 3 minutes left. And that's because, you know, to me, like the chances that he has like double Explosive Impact at that point are very low. And I'm willing to put that much more pressure on him in the course of this last game. All right, this looks like a keep to me, although we do have a Centaur Healer, which we're essentially never casting. Could get stuck on 2, although Hover Barrier does a good amount of work versus him. This is actually interesting. I think I'm going to mulligan it. I was going to keep it, but it didn't look as good as I thought. This one's a keep, though, because we can get a Frostburn Weird pretty early and also have access to an Arrest. We just need to hit a bunch of lands, and we hit one off the bat, so that's a good start. And he hasn't done anything. That's actually a pretty ideal draw right there as well. Sunspire Griffin is a good defensive creature. It's going to help get in the way. He's just going to play a Racketeer. Sunspire Griffin looks really good versus that. And a Centaur Healer will be nice if we ever can cast it. So this is looking fine so far. If he attacks, we're snap blocking. Slitherhead, that's not going to do much here. And Lobber Crew will also not do much here. Ooh, right on time as well. We're going to use up all of our mana and play Martial Law. Ship the turn back. And he's got about a minute and a half. I don't think we could kill him in a minute and a half. That's the awkward thing about playing the clock game, is that, like, what are we supposed to do? I don't think that we could even kill him in a minute and a half. So there's really no incentive for me to try. All right, so we're just going to lock down the Racketeer because it does provide the most damage. Oh, that seems good here. Skymark Rock, sure. He's going to keep pinging us. And we might even arrest the Lobber Crew. It's possible. Probably rather keep it for something else, but we might even do that. All right, Rakdos Cackler, sure. Now this if he has something like, oh, he just decided to steal it, so he's going to hit us for 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so he's actually getting there. This is a reasonable play from him. All right, so we are going to keep this Viashino Racketeer on lockdown. And what are we going to do here? What is the plan? Well, I think we're going to attack. And we're going to bounce that. Yeah, I take 1 from that guy. And I think the play here, as weird as it is actually just to arrest the Lobber Crew. Because that's the only thing right now that can consistently get in for a bunch of damage against us. He's going to get in for 1 with the Slitherhead here. If we could ever draw another mana, we can play 2 spells in 1 turn as well and put up a bunch of blockers. Yeah, still this guy. There we go. And this attack still is profitable because it's actually preventing more damage, as well as it's also, you know, we're also attacking. He's got 10 seconds left, so it's not looking good for him. We'll play this guy. And this one. Get to play 2 guys there is really sweet, because even if he has Traitorous Instinct, it's not as bad for us. And looks like he's got a stab wound, but he ran out of time. All right, so we are moving on to actually the last round of this thing. So let's see if we can't finish off strong in this daily event.